Oh, hi everyone, welcome back. So I've got a little bit of a project to do today. What I want to do today is to build a stall for out the front, so we can sell our plants and eggs, with a little honesty box on there. So this is one of my wood piles. This is all just like scrap bits of wood that I've collected over the years. So I'm going to run through this and see what I've got. I've got another pile over there, which I'll take you over and show you in a minute. I'm sure that I can come up with something with all this wood that I've got. So what I'm thinking is some sort of like an apex. I want to build a little roof on it, like an apex roof, and just a couple of shelves or something, so that it's sheltered from the rain, and we can put the stuff under there, something to write on. With the sort of things that these farms and stuff have outside, the little stalls. That's what I want to build, and I don't want to buy anything. So I've got lots of wood, got lots of screws and nails, and I've got my saw, my sander, so I'm sure I can come up with something. So I'm going to show you the other stuff. I've got some old fence panel slats, which might come in handy. Okay, so I've just uncovered this wood, which I've had under this tarpaulin, which was it was bits from a bunk bed, a hand-built bunk bed. So there's like a few slat type things, some other bits of wood, and I've also got a big stack of these fence panel slats. It's really thin, but so it tends to split, but it might be good for like the roof of the stall. So I haven't come up with a design yet, so I'm just gonna think as I go along and see what I come up with. So stay tuned, and we'll get cracking. I've also got this old bunk bed here. It's all taken apart, it's all broken and stuff, but these slats are in good condition. So I'm thinking what I might do is use them to build the frame, and then use the other stuff, the old fence panel things, cladding or whatever you call it, that's over there. So that's the cladding there, just really thin stuff. And these are the bed slats. They're pretty strong because obviously they're designed to hold a lot of weight, but they can be a bit sort of brittle, if you get what I mean. So I'll have to pre-drill holes, obviously. So what I'm thinking is build a frame out of these, including the apex roof, and then I should be able to put a couple of shelves in. I've got some other random bits of wood that I can use for supports, and anything else that I might need as I go along. So that's my plan at the moment. Okay, so this is what I've decided to do. So I'm going to put two shelves in it, and I'm just going to go 30 centimetres up for the first shelf, and I've marked that, and then 30 centimetres up for the second shelf, so I've marked that there. And so I'll screw them on. Then for the roof, I'm just going to screw that to there and there, cut them both at exactly the same size, so they meet in the middle, with an angle across there. So obviously the two pokey out bits have gone. So I'm going to make two of them, and then put a couple of cross supports on to hold them together, and probably something between the roof bits. So I'll set up the time lapse or something and get that done. So I'm going to pre-drill my holes and countersink them. So I've got a bit for that here. I've got some smaller ones as well. I might need some smaller ones. And I'm going to use some 1-inch wood screws. So they just about go through both bits without coming out the other side. So like I said, I'll set up the time, let's get that done, and then get back to you. Okay, so that's one side almost done. So I've just put screws in here, diagonal from each other, because it adds strength to it. And again with these ones, like I said, 30 centimeters from the bottom, 30 centimeters from the next shelf, just to keep things simple. And these two bits of wood I'll just cut exactly the same length, not a perfect angle, but doesn't matter. I've only put one screw in each one for now, just so that I can adjust this top bit here if I need to. For now, once I'm happy with it, I'll screw them, put another screw in there, and then maybe a screw at an angle through there and through there, just to hold the middle together. Obviously my cutting's not great, but never mind, it's just the way it goes. So I've got to do another one of these, so I'll get that done. There's no point in me filming that again, I don't think. I'm just going to make exactly the same thing again, it'll be the front and the back, and then we'll put some supports in to join the two sides together and put some braces across the roof and that. So I'll get back to you once I've done the other half. Okay, so I've just finished the second E-frame. So they're both there. Trying to get them as close as possible to being the same as each other. They're not quite, but it shouldn't matter. So now what I'm thinking is using half a length. I'll grab one of these, cut one of these into two, and use that length to make the width of the stool. So it'll be about that wide, and I'll use this to brace across there, couple across there, and one across the roof, and possibly one across the middle in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to cut 3 of them in half, which is lucky because I've only got 3 left, and that'll give me 6 braces that I can use. And then I will just screw them on again, most likely, onto the outside probably. I'm not entirely sure yet because I've got to clad it with that stuff, so whether I screw it on the inside or on the outside, I'll decide in a minute. I should be able to do it on the outside like that, and then it'll match up with these ones, and I can run the cladding on them. So I think that's good. The only other option is to do it so that these are in that way, which might be better. Then we can use them to support the shelves, and then the cladding will go across these two outside legs. That might be the better way. So I'll get that done. Set up a time lapse again. Hope you don't mind time lapses. It just saves showing you all the boring bits, like cutting bits of wood and stuff. So I'll get that done, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've got them supports screwed on, or 4 of them anyway. And this is what I've got so far. I think it's looking alright. By no means is it going to be perfect, but it doesn't need to be. As long as it's nice and strong, and I can put a watertight roof on it. So I'm going to add a couple more supports across the roof, just to give it a bit more strength. And then I'm going to start cladding it. And I have got a bit of felt which I could put on the roof, or I can just clad it with that wood if I've got enough. So I'll do all the outside cladding. I'm going to leave one side open and clad the 3 other sides. And then if I've got enough cladding left, I will do the roof. If not, I'll put a couple more supports on and put some felt across it, some roofing felt. So next thing I'm going to do is figure out how I'm going to support the roof. So I've got 2 more pieces of this left, or bed slats. So I'll probably put them on the inside, and obviously I'll have to cut it. So I'll put one either side of the apex, or I could just use one and put it straight in the middle. That might be better. So anyway, I'll decide and then get that done, and I'll get back to you before I start putting the cladding on. Okay, so after a bit of tinkering and a lot of thinking, this is what I decided to do. So I'm going to put one of these either side, and I've found some bigger screws. So I think these are 50mm, and they're hex bits, whatever you call them, torque bits. So what I've done is put that there, so that it goes and sandwiches the whole thing together in the corners. So it should give it lots of strength. And then I'll do the same on the other side, obviously. And then in the middle here, I'm going to find a different bit of wood. Probably that nice square bit there might be ideal. And then I can put that in the middle there, like so. And that should give it a lot of extra strength on the top. And then hopefully I'll be able to clad around all this. I've noticed I might have to trim the corners off of these when I come to doing the cladding. It's only a couple of them, just poking out just a little bit, so that might get in the way. And the same with the end bits here, just trim them. That's only one, I think. For some reason that slat was longer than the others, or it's a bit wonky. It's probably more likely. Anyway, so that's what I'll come up with. So I'll get the rest of the roof supports on, set up time lapse again, then I'll start with cladding it. Okay everyone, so it's the next day now. I gave up yesterday. I just made a start on doing the cladding, so putting that along there. Then I thought to myself, I really should do the shelves first, because otherwise it's going to be really awkward trying to get a bit of wood in there if I've got all the cladding on. So I've been looking around the place trying to find some wood. The only thing I can think of is using this bit of plywood. So I should be able to use this. It's nice, strong. It's 4mm, I think. So it's not the strongest, but it should be perfectly fine for the shelves in there. So I'll just need to cut a strip off of that, 90cm or 89, just to be sure. Doesn't matter if there's a tiny gap at either side. And the width is 44cm. So I need to cut 2 bits out of that for these 2 shelves, and then we can crack on with the cladding. I've worked out should just about have enough, but we'll see how we go. So again, I'll set the time lapse up, get that bit of plywood cut, get the shelves in, and crack on with cladding the egg and plant stall. Okay, so that went quite well. Yeah, it's not particularly easy to cut. That's a bit awkward. But I've done both the shelves, got them screwed in. So I've just put 3 screws front and back. And that one I managed to cut a bit shorter because obviously them bits. So next thing I'm going to do is cut up all the cladding ready to put on. There's a couple of bits of wood that have the splits I've glued. So they should be dry basically by now. Just some PVA glue, PVA wood glue. So I'll get all these cut and make a start fitting them. Okay, so I've got the back and the sides done. Unfortunately, I haven't quite got enough to do the roof out of this. It would have been nice if I had just a few more planks. Then I would have had enough to do the roof and this back bit. But I'm about a board short if I want to do the roof. So what I'm going to do is just finish off the back with what's left of this cladding wood. And then the roof, I'm just going to use plywood and then I'm going to cover it with felt. I've got some roofing felt lying around somewhere that I've salvaged, so that bit's almost perfect. So what I'll do is I'll cut another piece for the roof and just get some roofing felt and just cover it over with that. I might do it a bit bigger, so I might want to overhang it, so I might not use that bit, even though it looks almost perfect. I want a bit of an overhang either side. So I'll crack on again, set the time lapse up. Okay, so finish off the cladding, and I've cut and put the plywood on for the roof, and I left a nice little overhang just to protect it from the weather a bit more. Unfortunately this bit wasn't quite long enough, so there's a little gap there either side, but it doesn't matter. And been and dug out what's left of my roofing felt, and hopefully I'll be able to find enough good pieces in there to do the roof. Try and avoid bits with holes in them. Should be able to. Got another bit there. So I'm going to have to screw it on because I haven't got any roofing felt tacks, but it should be fine. So I'll get that done, and then it is finished. I think it turned out pretty well. Let me know what you think. Obviously, I'll get back to you again once I'm finished completely. Okay, so here's the finished product. I had a little bit of that cladding wood left over, so I'll just run a bit up there and across there just to make it look a bit tidier. So let me know what you think, guys. I'm quite happy with it anyway. Not perfect, obviously. The roof felt's on, so I've overlapped the top so that no water can get under it, and obviously tucked the sides in. I remembered I had a staple gun, so that made it a lot easier than screwing it all in. So we'll put that out the front, and we can put our eggs on there, fruit and veg that we want to sell, any plants. I'll make like a little whiteboard thing or something at some point, or just right across the front the prices. So anyway, okay everyone, so I think that turned out pretty good. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe, and don't forget to like the video if you liked it. So like I said, I'm going to put that out the front, and we'll put our plants and produce on there to sell. So again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you on the next one. See you later.